Justice, one of the most recognisable duos to come out of the French electro scene, with their hit singles Dance and Genesis, that later created on, in my opinion, one of the best electronic EPs to date. I hope you enjoyed this video. To start off, we need to go back. Before Cross was even released, who are the members of Justice? There's Gaspard Org and Xavier de Rosnay. In 2002, they met after moving in next door, then later meeting at a party, realising they shared a lot in common than what they were trying to both pursue, which was in graphical design. They had mutuals at the party that were running a record label and seeking tracks for a compilation. Gaspard Org and Xavier de Rosnay tried creating a song which sparked the creation of one of their first hits, We Are Your Friends. That was a very funky and easy to dance to song that I personally really enjoy, and I will go back to time and time again. This won the attention of Pedro Winter, who had just founded Ed Banger Records. A week later, they were in his office to sign a record deal, and that is how the duo came to be known as Justice. Now fast forward to 2007. In June, on the 11th day, the duo released their debut album, Cross. It featured 12 tracks, 48 minutes and 13 seconds in length, and it was, and still is my opinion, their best album to date, featuring hit singles such as Genesis and Dance, which Genesis in particular sparked a whole scene of dark electronic by how it was made and how it sounds, being revolutionary at the time, as well as Waters of Nazareth with that similar sound, just to keep in mind for the EP that's gonna come up later. But this album, Cross, has an interesting story behind it. It was created on GarageBand. Yup. And even features some samples from Apple, like on the song Stress, which it features like this chopped and altered kind of sound. It's like very distorted and it makes like this glitchy kind of sound to make the atmosphere, I would say, the song produces, and it's crazy how they did that in just GarageBand. In 2008, at the peak of their popularity, the duo would release their best work to date. July 8th gave us the gift of Planisphere. Lasting around 17 minutes and 40 seconds, it can be seen as one whole track or split up into 4 parts. That feels like it just doesn't interrupt the flow of the album, and it feels like great areas just to split up the song to make it more listenable. Honestly, the best word that I can use to describe this project is just grand. It sounds so futuristic and dark at the same time, with some parts of it feeling like I'm in like an intergalactic nightclub busting some moves, the next minute I'm hitting a guitar solo like I'm Pink Floyd. Now, Planisphere keeps this kind of industrial sound by how it's pumping this dark electro into you, which is like reminiscent of, well, Genesis and Waters of Nazareth, which comes from their debut Cross. Throughout the EP, it changes its pace with having some breakup points that go from like, damn, this shit is hard. Like, I'm running away from like the cops maybe, or like hitting some combos on a hard Guitar Hero level. Not to mention, or to scrape over the fact, this EP also has some interesting history behind it. It was going to be used by Dior for their 2009 Home Summer Fashion Show. You can find videos of the runway event on YouTube in, well, pretty shit quality, as it was 2009, so the things are being like 144p, so good luck making out what people are wearing, as it's practically impossible in my opinion. It also featured a CD version of, well, the EP from the event in a nice textured white sleeve with it saying in capitals Dior Home, and then below it in like a nice serif font, Justice. For the longest time, this was the only format. There was no vinyl pressing, cassette tapes or anything like that, with a lot of people demanding a vinyl release for it, but to alas, no dice. Fast forward to 2022, this year. October the 7th, they announced two things on Instagram. First, their live show, A Cross on the Universe, getting a vinyl pressing for the first time. Then, huge news hits. Planisphere. I was hooked. I love Planisphere. I've been wanting it on vinyl for ages. And I've been listening to it on Audio Video Disco, as it was just put on there as a full 17 minutes track. And then they just decided to rechange the album cover that was, well, it was meant to be, and made its own EP, which is so much more better, and it's got the 5 parts split up nicely, which I enjoy a lot. The EP donned this new cover, which I just said briefly. It features this futuristic cross with what appears to be Gaspard Org and Xavier de Rosny, like a little small people down below on the planet, and you just see this giant cross in the background. I think this design fits the feel of the album, as it feels just straight up futuristic. And not to mention that all of these songs are on one side of the album, and that leaves the opposite side. They could have just split them onto both sides, or just left it blank, but they went one step further. They incorporated the original album design on the other side of the album, aka the B-side, which is a nice homage. I love this idea that they incorporated the Earth design that they did for the original EP, Planisphere, before they put it onto streaming under a different album cover to give it like their on-brand cross look, which I understand. It is a awesome branding look that they are sticking to the cross design, but it feels just more like a collector's item. They also did mark it as like limited edition, so I don't know if it's going to stay limited edition, but if so, do get one. It is worth the money. I love this album. I love this EP. It is great, and I think what they did with it is amazing. Incorporating just even the smallest of details, like just adding the album original design on the back, is just adding more to the product, making it feel like just a collector's item, and it was so worth the wait that it took just to get it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it gives some backstory onto why I think this is one of the best electronic EPs, with my main reasons being it sounds incredible. It has like these paces it goes through, with it offering different kind of styles, of it just getting more progressive and then just changing up to like this disco beat, making you feel like you're in the groove, and then just changing up to like a guitar solo, and then just keeps on that dark industrial kind of theme over and over again. Homage to like Cross's Genesis and Waters of Nazareth, and also Captes, which is off another EP that is just kind of like a cut song from Cross, in my opinion. Hopefully this just gives you a bit more information that you might have known or not known about Justice, and how they came to be, what they even used to create an album in the first place. With that being said, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you want to, and if you want to have a discussion, just please leave it in the comments. With that being said, I'll see you on the dance floor.
No need to ask my name, just